Okay, and good evening, and welcome to planetherring. I guess I should say afternoon. We are getting ready to do the iRacing BMW 12.0 Fix series. This, of course, is iRacing 2020 Season 2, right here in the midst of the COVID-19 epidemic. Hope you're staying home. Hope you're staying safe. We're getting ready to join practice. We got about 15 minutes before the event starts. Gonna do some laps here. Switch over to the proper view there. There we go. Everything getting ready to launch here. Oops, almost hit the wrong thing. Looks like we got good sound and everything on this. So anyway, gonna put in a few practice laps here. I did actually run a test of this race last night, very late, just for fun, and actually did pretty well. Ended up going, I believe it was 5th place overall out of a full field. A lot of people were on last night. Of course, that is to be expected given the current circumstances. Of course, this race this week is at Limerock. 116 people registered here so far. So for the fixed M8 GTE, I do run at 544, 545-ish degrees on the steering, pedals and everything. Normal setup there. Using my paddles as I always do. No shift aids, and that's about it. No setup to be had here. Pretty much the only thing you can change on the fly is your brake bias. Always recommend having a set of buttons for that. So let's go ahead and get into practice here very quickly. Let's see where we're at with 15 minutes to go. Low 47s, at least in this particular practice. All right, so there we go. And of course, I have my 3 dashboards up here with my normal dashboards. I got a relative position with a track map and my normal timing and scoring over here. Let's go. So this is Limerock. This is the Limerock that was released last year. Been driving Limerock for a long time, at least virtually. One of those tracks that once you get used to, it just becomes old hat. And this is the classic version, which I like. Basically means no freaking chicane right here. Just the uphill. Scenery is very nice. The line is a little bit improved from where it was in the old version. So let's do a lap and I'll call it out. So full blast down the straight, coming up about to the 2, and we're going to be hard down to 3rd and then down to 2nd eventually here through turn 1 and turn 2, back up to 3rd. I like to keep it tight here, down to 2nd. That kind of sets you up for this because you really want to try to get on the throttle as much as possible through that turn. This is just a touch of throttle, a touch of brake, sorry. Easy up the hill, you don't want to launch it. Haven't decided if I like 4th or 3rd coming out of there. And ideally, just full blast through there, but just a touch off the throttle is usually what I end up with that, just to settle the car. As an example of what can happen if you drag a wheel. So currently a 48.8. You have to watch out for that. Car does have traction control, but you do have to take it easy. Can't overwhelm it. That was a horrible way to do that. Was easily in the 47s last night. So let's see where we come in here. Still not fast. There's 6/10. See, I don't think. Yeah, almost faster, but not quite. Yeah, see, that's just a little bit faster. I'm just right on that cusp. I mean, it's just right there, 47.9. That's it. Gee, it's just like right there. And see, there's, oh, geez. And that's the problem with diving. So, I mean, wow, 228 people registered for this. This is going to be interesting. I mean, we're in the 47s, but holy cow, Daniel Harper has pulled a 46. And he did that on our watch here. So we are going to take a look at this. He's in the cockpit, going to adjust the screen. We got about 4 minutes, plenty of time to be able to see this lap. So he's in 5th gear. Let's see where he brakes here. So right at the 2 marker, shifting down to 2 there, coming back up to 3, staying in tight just like I'm doing. Going immediately down to 2, 3, 4. Just really not doing anything there. So he is staying in 4th for that turn. But he's also staying in 4th and burning it out to there. So there you go. That's how he did it. All right. So let's see what I can do with that. Got a couple of minutes left. So adjust this back to my normal spot. There we go. All I did is I'm just kind of surprised I didn't get a black flag there. So basically, he is staying uber tight through there. And this right here is just kind of a let it float. But you got to try not to get too far out there. All right, here we go. Let's give this a shot. That was close. Kind of sloppy. And I did not get but extra 100th or so. Okay, well. Yeah, no worries. No worries. You as well. Alrighty, so there we go. That's the end of practice, and we're heading over to the official race session. Um, we'll see how this goes. I don't feel like I'm too bad off here. I think with this number of people, registered, we're gonna have a few splits. Maybe I'll get lucky and get in something that doesn't have all the aliens in it, and maybe won't end up at the very, very tail end of all the 46s. So we shall see about that. All right, so getting ready to get in here. And so here we go. So again, this is the BMW M8 GTE Fixed Series here in iRacing 2020 Season 2, Week 4. Limerock Classic version, meaning no chicanes or any of that other mess. Makes for a nice, clean, easy lap if you're smooth. And qualifying is going to be 8 minutes, which is about 5 minutes longer than you actually need. At any rate, the race is an official race. It's 12 minutes long, which pretty much gives you 10 laps or so. We do have a parade lap at the beginning, which lasts longer than any of the laps, of course. And then we go from there again, just in case you're just running this in 1.0. I do run this at 544 degrees on the wheel. You know, that's just me. My feeling is that I have always had a problem with steering angle, and that seems to solve it. So I've done numerous tests with the wheel at different wheel settings and in different sims, and I have noticed that setting my if there's a steering ratio or something that compensates for how far you have to turn the wheel, so that turning it physically less means turning it more in the sim, then I tend to do better with car control and placing the car where I need to place it. So your mileage may vary, but that is one of those little tricks that nobody ever says anything about, because everybody wants you to run at 900. Like, okay, stop. You run what you run to make yourself fast. So anyway, it's time for qualifying. So let's go ahead and get this going here. So, like I said, there's nothing you can really do with the car right out of the box. I personally feel that the setup for the car is pretty good. You can play with the brake bias if you want to. I don't feel like it's too twitchy at all. It can be, um, but in general, I try to set everything where I can see. I do intend to get actually larger monitors, so I'm not sure how that's going to end up working out, especially considering I'm not just going to have larger monitors, but the intent is also to get QHD monitors. So there's going to be a lot more, hopefully, a lot wider view of the car and everything else with the higher resolution. We'll see how it goes. I'm really concerned about performance. I'm going to try that. I have a 1070 Ti currently, but I am going to be getting for another PC a 2070, and we're going to see how those work. They're supposed to be pretty close. So here we go. First time lap coming up here. Probably should have gotten a little bit more speed off of that, but here we go. one of those things. Do not rely on shadows as brake markers. There's a tip for you. Okay, well, P6, I don't even think I got into the 47s on that one. That was really not my best time. Let's see what we ended up here with. Yeah, 48, 1, 2, 3. Really not as good as I would have hoped. In fact, if I had done my best time in practice just now, I would be in third, but we'll see how it goes. It doesn't look like these guys are super fast, so I should be able to hold my own here. A lot of it is just being clean and not having to worry about any issues. So we shall see about that. So like I was saying, intend hopefully here we're soon to get 32-inch monitors for the sim. I'll be doing a video on that upgrade and showing how that looks, and doing some comparisons as far as viewing angles and stuff like that, and of course the differences between a GTX 1070 Ti and an RTX 2070. Those will be coming up here a little bit later over time. Hopefully not in the too far distant future. Um, and we'll see how this goes. And then, of course, we got a lot of other stuff going. We are doing the RM Solo Spring Stay at Home Social Distancing series. That's Wednesday night at 8 o'clock. Mountain Daylight Time for those interested. And there's lots of stuff that we're trying to do here just to stay busy and get some content out there and give everybody some new stuff to watch on YouTube, because there's plenty of stuff. Something for everybody. Anyway, so we still got 2.5 minutes roughly here. Like I said, the time it takes to get a qualifying time at Limerock in one of these cars is ridiculously low. They could have set it at 5 minutes and we would have plenty of time. Looks like pretty much we must have gotten lucky with the split based on this. No 46s, only high 47s, which we are capable of. And looks like we're going to start on the third row. And then as long as we can get through this without someone plowing into the back of us, we should be okay. Again, this is a fixed series, which I believe is, if it's not D class, it's certainly low C class. I think a lot of guys run this because it's an easier GT3, GTE style car. Requires a little bit more skill, but at the same time, it's not super hard. We'll see. Depending on the track, there seems to be a fair amount of wrecks going on, but for the most part, people aren't too crazy in here. Looks like we've been bumped down to 7th by Hugo Leroy. So we'll see. 1 minute left. Looks like everything is still going. I will say this, that staying at home all week, day and night, with only few exceptions, is incredibly tiring. Which is saying a lot when you're talking to someone who is at home quite a bit. I actually like being at home, but There's a limit. All right, let's see. We got 19 entries in the race, so that's a nice full field. If you're interested in such things, there is 17x DQ limit. No penalties, one fast repair. So we are getting ready. And so there it is, getting ready to go to grid here, just waiting for the timer to kick up. And there it is. So let's go ahead and get that in here. While I'm here, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to completely drain the pit fuel. Just in case I was need to go in for a repair, and then of course tires, we don't need to change the tires. This race lasts nowhere near long enough, so I'm going to go ahead, got a button for that, clearing the tires. So there you go. So that's handy in the case you do need to go in for a repair, especially if you can drive into the pits. And my fast repair button is in fact checked. So we are ready just in case of problems. Worst case would be needing a tow. That'll take the longest. But anyway, so we are on, looks like the inside in row 4. One parade lap should be pretty easy. There we go, got that in. Not my best start. I'd say the brakes on this car are super noisy. In fact, it reminds me of an old-fashioned telephone ringing every time I hit the brakes, which is kind of a weird noise. One of the things is that's interesting about these parade laps is you really get a sense about who actually knows how to drive, like in real life, and who's never actually driven a car before. A lot of people can drive a game or simulated car at speed, no problem, but or they can drive it in a very fast but dangerous way. But you make them go 45 miles an hour and they have no clue. One of the things I will say is I think I'm really taking that turn too early of an apex. I really should be waiting a little bit longer. All right, folks, so here we go. I'm going to take it down to first here. We're getting ready for the start. I did. All right, coming in hot. All right, let's. Get somebody to jump start. All right, let's see. Not too bad so far. Not sure what's up with that. Let's get it. Okay, gotta watch out for that tail tire dragging. Okay, 5.5 minutes, folks. So we're coming up on some lap traffic. And that's always the trick with racing. It's keeping it together, especially under pressure. Martinelli seems to be holding with me pretty good. Key is always to keep your head down. All right, gotta breathe, gotta breathe, gotta breathe. 1.5 minutes. Last lap, boys. Let's try to hold it together. All right. All right. Well, that was a really good result. I think best lap here was a 47.8. Not a win, but a second place, especially in a hotly contested race. I think we were all right here together. Qualified 7th. All right, there we go. So a good result for the 4th week of season 2 of 2020 here at iRacing. In general, I think my laps were pretty consistent. Qualified with a 48.1, not my fastest time to be certain, but did get some 47s in here. 47.9, 47.8, yeah, 4 or 5 of them. That's not too bad at all. We look at who ultimately ended up being the leader, Mr. Stefan Patrick Wayland. Could be Stefan. Stefan sounds nicer. What can I say? Let's look at his laps. He did qualify 5th. About the same as me. Some 47s and a 48. Our pole sitter actually ended up in 11th. He qualified with a 47.6. His lap times were actually mostly 47s and a couple of 48s there at the end. His fastest one actually was a 47.5. Which, just for the sake of reference, let's have a look-see at that. So 5th gear, maybe waiting just a tad bit later for the braking. Tad bit later to go into 2nd. He kind of does the wide swing out thing for this turn. And he gets back into 3rd quickly. Yeah, I'm going to have to say that the downshift to 3rd is probably where I'm failing, and that I'm not getting back up to 5th. It seems to be that's the two things, but guess it doesn't really matter at this point at all. So at any rate, like I was saying earlier, got a lot of things going on, especially with being stuck in the house. And so lots of iRacing and project cars and other stuff that we're coming up with. So at any rate, thanks for watching. We do have a link below the video here to the Planet Herring merch store for t-shirts and stickers. And of course, thanks for watching. Lots more to come. And as always, here's the end card.
Hey guys, Michael here. Hope you enjoyed that video. If you did, go ahead and click that like button. Click on the Planet Herring logo to subscribe to the channel. Let us know what you think about the video in the comments below. And as always, thanks for watching. Hope to see you again soon.